Hi, I'm Joe Herbert from Joe Herbert Realty, and today I want to talk to you about something you should have analyzed and addressed before you put your house on the market, and that's moisture and water in your basement. And we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about water infiltration into your basement, how is it getting there, and how do you do something about it. And we're going to talk about sump pumps, okay? So first of all, many times when I go in people's homes to help them get their home ready to put it on the market, there's moisture in the basement. I can see it in the block walls, or I can even see it on the floors, or I can see the staining on the floors or in the walls. And more often than not, it's rainwater that isn't being managed properly by their gutters and their downspouts. So one thing you definitely want to do, even if you're not considering selling your home, is get your gutters cleaned twice a year. I always clean my gutters in the spring as soon as all the snow's gone, and then I clean them in the late fall after all the leaves have come down. This way, rainwater gets in your gutters, goes to your downspouts, and doesn't wind up in your basement. Also, make sure your downspouts are funneling that water far enough away from the house before it pours it out into the yard, or make sure it's connected into a little standpipe. That's a little pipe you see sticking out of the ground. They call that a standpipe. Usually those standpipes go out to the storm lines in the street. So you want to make sure your gutters, your downspouts, and your standpipes are taking the water away from your house. Now, if you just have spring and groundwater that's coming up, then you may want to put a French drain in. That's a drain inside your house that goes around the perimeter of the basement wall. And then that French drain is routed over to what they call a sump crock. That's that round hole in your basement floor. And there's a sump pump in that sump crock. And when that groundwater or even rainwater gets in that French drain, goes over to the sump pump, it gets pumped outside and hopefully away from the house. So those two things you want to make sure you do, because I will tell you, buyers are very sensitive about wet basements and mold, and they should be. Those are environmental problems. So before you decide to put your house on the market, have an experienced realtor come over and assess any moisture or water problems in your basement. The other thing is, make sure your sump pump is going out to the yard or out to a storm line in the street. And I say storm line because rainwater and groundwater, that's considered to be storm water. And that's different from sewer water. Sewer water is when you flush your toilet, you take a shower, water goes down the drains in your sinks. That's sewer water. And almost every municipality across the United States now requires you to have storm water and sewer water separated. Most municipalities don't want all that storm water going into a sewer system and going to their sewer plant, because it doesn't need to be treated. It can go out to the streams and the lakes and the bays without being treated, and it costs money to treat that water. Also, in the past, when there's been very heavy rains, there's so much storm water going to the sewer plants that it overflows the sewer plant and raw sewage flows out into the bay. If you remember, that's how the Erie-Presque Isle Bay was so polluted decades ago, because we weren't separating storm and sewer water. So it's illegal now to have your sump pump storm water going into your basement floor drain, which is a sewer connection. You're not allowed to do that. So that's another thing. You want to have your realtor come and look at your sump pump if you have one, and make sure it's going to a legal connection and not an illegal connection, okay? So anyway, that's some of the benefits of working with an experienced realtor, one who has been around a while, knows what they're doing, knows the product that they're selling. They can come to your house, they can look at these water problems, these moisture and mold problems, they can look at your plumbing and your sump pump and make sure that's all correct, taken care of before you put your house on the market, because you don't want to scare away buyers. And if you'd like myself or one of my agents to come to your house and analyze these moisture and water and drain problems, we can do it. Our office number is 814-217-1900. You can also go to our website, joeherbertrealty.com, and request information there. So we'd love to come and look at your house and help you resolve these problems. Thanks for watching this video, and have a great week.